And welcome to Hannity. And tonight, we're only 9 days away from the Republican primary showdown in South Carolina. And according to the Real Clear Politics average in the Palmetto State, Donald Trump has a double-digit lead over the field with 36% of the vote. Senator Ted Cruz comes in second with 19.7%, and Senator Marco Rubio in third place with 12.7%. Now, after his big win Tuesday night in New Hampshire, a very confident Donald Trump is going after both rivals, all his rivals, on all sides of the aisle. Take a look.
I don't know that we're going to be fighting Hillary, because I find it hard to believe. I look at what she's doing. I was there. I was there last night where this guy Sanders is up ranting and raving like a lunatic that, he won. The polls are showing that we beat Hillary. We're going to beat her. And honestly, women don't like her, men don't like her. Take a look at what's happening to her.
Here with reaction, author of the bestseller Crippled America, How to Make America Great Again, 2016 Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump. All right, you have to appreciate that. I think that's pretty funny, especially the stuff about Hillary. What do you attribute to your success in New Hampshire, and how do you take that momentum to South Carolina?
Well, the people up there were so fantastic, and they want to see strong borders, and nobody's stronger than me, and they want to see really strong borders. I'm building the wall, and it's going to get built, and it's going to do a lot of good, and it's going to work, believe me. But they want to see that. They want to see a strong military. I'm going to rebuild the military. We're going to build it properly, and we're going to build it strong, and we're going to negotiate prices, Sean. We're buying equipment that they don't even want because people that own certain companies, they have political contacts, including the people, frankly, that are on the stage with me. So we're going to get the right stuff at the right price, and we're going to rebuild our military. We're going to take care of our vets. We're going to absolutely terminate and repeal. We're going to repeal Obamacare. Has to be repealed. Has to be. We have no choice. Premiums are going up 25, 35, 45%, and even more than that. It's going to be repealed and replaced. Common Core, we get rid of Common Core. Absolutely, I've been saying that forever. Has to be local education. It's going to be taken care of at a local level. Second Amendment, we're going to protect. These are the things I talked about in New Hampshire, and the people absolutely loved them.
I find it amazing. I watched on primary night. I'm flipping the dials. I'm watching all these idiots that get paid for their commentary, and they don't seem to really know a thing about politics. And the narrative was Donald Trump doesn't give specifics. And I'm like, well, I've asked you very specific questions. For example, you have said to me you want to balance the budget. You think the penny plan, for example, is a good model.
I do.
So why are people not hearing that? You said you like health care savings accounts.
Health care savings accounts.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talk about that, the health care savings account, getting rid of the lines around each state so that insurance companies can actually bid instead of, again, that's just the insurance industry and health insurance industry, every industry, whether it's oil or insurance or anything else. But they have all these politicians 100% under control. I'm the only one that's self-funding. I look at these commercials thrown at me. These guys are spending millions and millions and millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars on negative commercials on me. And all of the money comes from the insurance industry, the oil industry, the lumber industry. Every industry is like supporting these guys running against me, these people running against me on both sides. But right now, I'm, only concerned about the Republicans.
But you would also like America. You would like America to be energy independent quickly so we don't buy oil from countries that hate us.
Absolutely. No, I want to open it up. I want to get all the oil. Look, as far as I'm concerned, the more energy, the better. We never want to be in a position. We never want to be in a position like we were with OPEC, okay? It's never going to happen again. We never want. And with new technology and with fracking and all the things you can do today, we never have to be in that position again. But I look at the negative ads where these PACs that are loaded up with money, and, all from special interest. The last debate, Sean, you heard me say it, everybody in the audience was special interest. And I'm the only one. I don't need donors. I don't have any special interest out in the audience because I'm going to do my special interest to the people of America, the people of this country. And I'm going to do the right thing. They can't do the right things. The drug companies are paying a fortune to PACs. And these PACs are advertising. But I looked at these negative ads against me. They're so wrong and so disgusting to look at. And they're not even being paid for by the candidate. They're being paid for by special interest, drug companies, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, you said...
But we'll get by. The same thing happened to a lesser extent, I think, in New Hampshire, and we won by like 20 points.
Your campaign announced today you're only going to run positive ads in South Carolina. And here's my question. If they start bombarding you with tens of millions of dollars in negative ads, are you going to stick to that, or or is it open-ended?
No,
or
I'd like to run.
Yeah.
I'd like to run positive, but if they start hitting me with, negative ads, I'm going to go negative. I have no choice. I have to.
Yeah. All right, here's my next question. And the two headlines I've got here, okay? I'm reading today. GOP asks, this is the headline, can Trump and Cruz be stopped? Now, you're the two, quote, insurgency candidates here. Byron York wrote a piece. He talked about a meeting in New Hampshire in January among the GOP elite and the establishment up in New Hampshire, and they quoted a top Republican guy saying about you being up in the polls 20%. I don't see it, I don't feel it, I don't hear it, I don't spend every part of it, and I spend every part of every day with Republican voters. What part of this is the Republican establishment not understanding that you won New Hampshire by a landslide, and what part are they struggling with that you in New Hampshire, Cruz in Iowa, are the two insurgency guys they hate the most, and you are winning? What part of that don't they get? Why don't they understand this?
Well, I think me in Iowa, too. I would have won, in my opinion, if Carson wasn't treated so badly by, what happened with Cruz. I thought it was a disgrace what they did to Ben Carson, who's a really good man. I would have won in Iowa, and I did very well in Iowa, but we did fantastically well, as you know, in New Hampshire. The fact is that they're not in love with me because I'm not accepting their money, and I can't be bought. I'm not going to be bought.
Yeah.
I am a self-funder. They don't like self-funders. I had a man come to my office. He wanted to give me millions and millions of dollars, which I don't need. I'm very fortunate. But he wanted to put millions of dollars into my campaign. I said, really, I don't want it. I mean, you're my friend, endorse me something, but I don't want it. I said, what are you going to do? He said, I got to give it to somebody else. He's giving the money to somebody else because they're like gamblers. I'm telling you, they're like gamblers.
Let me go through the list.
They have almost a gambling disease. They want to put their money up. They don't want a guy to tell them, we don't want your money. You would think that would be good. We're going to endorse you. We don't want your money. They actually want to put up money. I'm telling you, I know these guys. There are a lot of them are friends of mine.
Yeah.
I looked at the audience the other day. I know half of these guys. They're gamblers.
All right, let's go through issues really quick here. You believe we have to balance our budget, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And you want to do it quickly, expeditiously.
Ideally, yeah, as quickly as we can without hurting a lot of people, but as quickly as we can, within reason. I mean, I've heard people say over the next 25 years.
That's nuts.
People that we're running against, I've heard say over 25 years. It's ridiculous. No, we're going to get the budget. It's going to be balanced fairly soon.
All right, and you support Second Amendment rights, right to carry, right for people to protect themselves in their home and workplace, correct?
100%. The strongest. There's nobody on the stage, and you can speak to the NRA about this, including my two sons, who you know very well. I mean, they're members of the NRA. So am I, by the way. But there's nobody stronger on the Second Amendment anywhere than I am.
And you not only will repeal Obamacare, but your interest is in competition and health care savings accounts.
Absolutely. Or we can do something else, but the health care savings accounts are, I think it's one very good idea. I do like, though, we have to get rid of the lines between states so there can be competition, Sean.
And as it relates to terror, we know you're going to build the wall. Also, you're going to make sure we can vet anybody coming in from a country where there might be terror ties in that country.
Well, and I've said it, and, nobody else wants to say it, but I've said it. We have to stop the Muslims from coming in for a period of time until we find out what is going on. I mean, there's something wrong. And something's going on. There's a level of hatred that is beyond belief. I've never seen anything like it. And people are coming in. You look at what happened in California. I mean, going outside of the country, you look at Paris, where 130 people are shot like they're just targets, just come here and boom. By the way, speaking of the Second Amendment, if some of those people had guns on the other side in Paris or the other side in California, the bullets would have flown the other way. You wouldn't have had the kind of carnage that you had.
And with ISIS, you're going to take their money by taking the oil and the land that they have taken back after Americans fought, bled, and died there.
Yeah, but I said to do this 4 years ago, Sean. I said on your show. I mean, for 4 years I've been saying this. Take the oil. Now they're so rich, it will take a little while for it to catch up. But take the oil. I mean, we have people don't want to hit the oil because it's going to create pollution. I mean, it's hard to believe. At first I thought they were kidding.
All right,
but
here's the last question in this segment. They don't want to hit the oil
because of the pollution. Yes.
If, looking at the current makeup of the Supreme Court, our next president may appoint 2 or 3, maybe 4 justices. Pick 2 people on the Supreme Court that you think would be a good model for the type of person you're looking for.
Well, I like Scalia, and I like, I tell you what, Justice Thomas, he has been a great stalwart. He's I've met him numerous times, and I just think he's been an absolute stalwart.
Yeah, he really has been. I agree with you. All right, we're going to take a break. I got some questions.
And doesn't get enough, and by the way, doesn't get enough credit. He does not get enough credit.